Welcome back to Sean's Rustic Designs. I'm Sean, and this is part 2 of the Flat Brook flag build. In this video, I will be finishing the carving, sanding, the design, layout, and painting. Then maybe I'll take you along to deliver the flag, but for now, let's get going. This is where I wish I would have kept the banner separate from the flag for carving. Doing these undercuts would have been a lot easier with the two pieces as separate parts. Now, I was a little unsure on how I was going to get the ends of the banner to look the way I wanted. I really wanted the ends to fold over on themselves and look like a thin ribbon, not a chunk of 2x4. So I figured the best way to accomplish this was to back cut the edges, and then it was time to paint, just paint the back side of the flag black. To me, this would help hide the thickness of the material, and I would basically hope it would disappear into the shadows. The first two discs I use, I consider to be the roughing phase. And now that I'm happy with the general shapes and flow, I move on to the smoothing phase. Here I change out the Arbortech disc for the Kutzall discs. The blue disc I'm using first is the Kutzall Extreme Shaping disc, and this helps me refine the curves and smooth the overall look even further. The next and last disc I use is the Kutzall Original Dish in Fine Grit. This is what I use to further smooth and achieve the final shape before the fine sanding. The next and final step before paint or stain is sanding. And for this, I've found that this soft face sanding disc for the drill is unbeatable. I found this one at Lowe's, and it's made by Craftsman, but I've seen similar attachments at Harbor Freight and of course on Amazon. Amazon has everything. What I like about this attachment is how well it holds the contours and does not dig in on the edges. Just make sure if you get one of these to use a drill. Don't be like me and chuck it in a high-speed air grinder thinking, boy, if it sands this good in a drill, this grinder will be so much better. Let me tell you, it doesn't work out that well. If you look at the edge of the yellow pad, there's a chunk missing. Apparently there's a speed rating on these things, and I exceeded that in less than a second. So now this old Bosch drill is my dedicated sander, which works out really well because it has a trigger lock. And I don't have to keep my booger hook on the go switch all the time. Now because I'm painting this with a pretty unique design, I did not want a bunch of voids in the surface. So I mixed up a bunch of putty and filled in the screw holes and any other little defect I could find. While the putty was drying, I figured now would be a good time to empty the scrap bin. Then it's right back to sanding afterwards. When I go to hand paint a design, I want to have a pre-finished surface to paint on. And most of the time, I just use a flat white spray paint. Then when the primer is nice and dry, it's on to layout and then hand painting. This design is a reinvention of the Maryland flag you see on the computer screen. As you can see, the flag has a ton of straight lines that need to be laid out evenly and accurately. And for this, I use a laser level as a guide. But for this new version, the flag has a couple of guns in the cross section, kind of hidden in plain sight. Now, I originally created this design for my local USPSA club, the Southern Maryland Practical Shooters, to use as our logo and for all of our shirts and hats. And if you don't know what a USPSA shooting competition is, here's a clip from some of the stages I shot a while ago. I wish I could say painting straight lines on a complex curved surface is easy, but it's just not. It takes a good bit of brush control, and I had a few spots throughout the job that I had to go back and touch up, to cover up where I went just a bit wonky. Here you can see that gun logo that is built into the cross section of the flag come to life. And after the main flag body is pretty much painted, I move on to the banner section. For this I measured the area I wanted the words to cover and cut out the templates with my vinyl plot. I then transfer and adjust the decals until I was happy with the placements. Then it was just a matter of tracing the outlines and hand painting the words. I could have used a stencil to spray the letters on the banner, but to me, that would have been too much of a contrast between the flag and the banner being hand painted. For all my flags, I like to make a unique ID plate for the back, giving just another level of personal touch. To design the graphics, I use Inkscape, and I export the designs as a PNG and save them directly to the software that my little laser engraver uses. So what laser engraver do I use, you might be wondering? Well, it's the Niji Master 3500. It's not very big or very fast, but it does a great job and has a ton of applications. There's even a few jigs out there to engrave pens and tumblers and other stuff with this thing. So if you've ever considered a laser, go check this thing out. For about $200, you can't go wrong. As the name for this flag, I went with Hammer Down. I decided to go with this for a few reasons. The biggest is the meaning behind it. Hammer down is the final command given to a USPSA shooter before he is told to holster his firearm after he runs his course of fire. And it would go something like this. The shooter finishes shooting and he is told, "If you are finished, unload, show clear." He would then clear his firearm, show it to the RO, and then the RO would say, "Hammer down and holster." I would like to thank you all for checking out this video. You know what? Hold on. There's more. The team down at Flatbroke Shooters is going to present the flag to the owners, Steve and Cindy, for their 1-year anniversary. And I'm taking you all along to see how it goes. It's going to be a complete surprise, and as far as Steve and Cindy know, I'm just stopping by to say hi and see what's going on. Now, I'm not going to play exactly what they said, but I will paraphrase for you. We love you. You guys are awesome. We are awesome. Sean is awesome. From us to you, please accept this gift.
You don't have to do this to me without giving me a tissue.
It's a two-bagger. It's a two-bagger.
Good. Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That broke his
That
skull.
is cool.
Oh, that is cool, man.
That is awesome.
Holy cow. This is it.
Yes.
Congratulations and thank you.
Holy crap.
What you do? Take half a tree?
Yeah, it's a chunk of lumber. Isn't it?
Sure
That's
is.
what he's in his house.
That's right.
That is slick. Now, where the hell are we going to put it?
You'll find a place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is neat. That is neat. Well, thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Sean, thank you.
If you guys liked what you saw here, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. And leave a comment. I try to answer every one. If you're interested in a custom flag for your own, check out the links below and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.